Roll call, Ms. Ana Cruz. Mr. Oscar Medrano here. Mr. Michael Vargas.
Here.
Mr. Angel Mendez.
Here.
Mr. Arnold Padilla.
Here.
Mr. Hector Leal.
Here.
Mr. Joe G. Gonzalez. Dr. Leo.
Here.
Mr. Tony Torres. Item number 3, Pledge of Allegiance to the United States and Texas flag, and item number 4, invocation. Michael.
Okay, thank you. I have 2 students from the Gateway to Graduation Academy. The first student we have is Cassandra Morales, who will be doing our Pledge of Allegiance. She writes, "My name is Cassandra Morales, and I am in 11th grade. My age is 17 years old. My favorite subject is social studies, and hobby is raising money for the homeless. Most of my accomplishments are winning trophies and medals for MMA. I have also been in volleyball and basketball. My parents' names are Miguel Morales and Brania Morales. I have a lot of goals to accomplish in life, and each year I get closer." Second student is Blanca Sierra. Blanca Sierra is 21 years old. Her hobbies are relaxing at home with her baby and enjoying the weather outside. She says, "My favorite subject would have to be U.S. history. It's fun, not boring, and easy to understand. Accomplishments are to finish school and start a career for myself and give my baby a better life. My parents' names are Gilbert Sierra and Elizabeth Gonzalez. Gateway is such a great school. They have given me a second opportunity to finish what I started." So if we can please rise for first the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please place your right hand over your heart and join me as I say, "I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which I stand, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all." Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, one and indivisible.
Please bow your heads. Tonight, we ask God's guidance for our board members and district administrators, teachers, and counselors. They have been entrusted to make decisions that will help our students, families, and employees. Guide them to discuss and make the right decision for the betterment of our San Benito community. Remind them that every day they give a special gift to my fellow students. It is the gift of education, the gift of a diploma, the gift of success, and the gift of opportunities for a healthy and productive future. And for that, we thank them. God bless the Greyhound administrators and students.
Thank you, Cassandra and Blanca. If your parents are in the audience or grandparents, can you please rise and be recognized? I'd also like to recognize Principal at Gateway to Graduation Academy, Mr. Rolando Guerra. Thank you, sir.
On to item number 5, special recognition, San Benito High School Superintendent's List, high five. Ms. Longoria.
It is an honor for us to bring before you San Benito High School Superintendent High Five honorees. These are students that earned the top 5% of their class, their freshman, sophomore, and junior years, and they are joining us here this evening. This year we have a total of 11 students. Some students could not be joining us this evening because I know one student in particular, I got a phone call that he's at football practice right now, but we will still read out their names even though they're not here. A lot of the students that are in the high five, as you all well know, they're involved in many extracurricular activities, whether it be band, whether it be chess, whether it be theater, a lot of extracurricular activities, sports, things like that, but yet they still manage to get at the top of their class. So this is a big honor for these students and obviously for their parents and family who are joining us here this evening. So let me start, and we will start with the first honoree on the list. We do have some presentations, and Mr. Michael Vargas, the board secretary, will be doing the honors. Please help me welcome Aaron Alejandro Adame. And if we can ask all the honorees to remain up at the front until we call the last one. The next honoree on the list is Mario Aguirre. Our next high five student is Pascual Roberto Diaz. Emily Rose Garcia is our other honoree. And Joseph Ramiro Partida is a young man that could not attend. Of course, as we all know, he's a member of the Greyhounds team, and they're getting ready for the big game that's coming up here in the next couple of days. So we congratulate him as well, even though he's not here. Help me welcome Carolyn Rose Ramirez is our next honoree. Sorry, it's Caitlin. Rianne Elizabeth Rojas. Aaron Matthew Solis. Jocelyn Mareri Tejada could not attend this evening, but we still honor her. Amanda Marlene Torres. And Jennifer R. Torres. Joining them is their proud principal, Henry Sanchez. And these students will get a Letterman's jacket, a high five Letterman's jacket, which is already on the way. And we'll soon have some ceremonies coming up later on this school year. Right before Christmas, that's when they will get presented with their jackets, right in time for the cold weather, right? We're almost there, but not quite. So they'll be here just in time. So congratulations to these students, and congratulations. We know you all are going to become successful no matter what you guys choose to do. Parents?
Yeah. I was just about to say.
Parents are in the audience. Parents, please stand. Great job. Dr. Leo, that concludes the special recognition, and I don't know if you want to say a few words.
Thank you. As instructional leaders in the district, as teachers for a lifetime, we take great pride anytime any student is distinguished in this way. That you have demonstrated over all of your years in this district that you are academicians. You devote as much time as you think is necessary, and not just to the academics, but to extracurricular activities, speaks very highly of you, and it gives us great pride as educators to recognize you this evening and to recognize you in the days ahead when those jackets arrive, when you have the reception, every occasion that we get to celebrate you and to applaud you for your dedication. Congratulations, one and all.
Congratulations. Thank you.
We move to item number 6, Superintendent Report. Dr. Leo.
Board members, in your board book, in the pages preceding tab 1, you will see that we have placed information regarding out-of-district travel scheduled for December 4th and 5th. I apologize for that static. December 4th and 5th by the NJROTC of San Benito High School and Veterans Memorial Academy, who will be participating in the Sea Dragon Classic Drill Meet in San Antonio, Texas. This is an information item only. Additionally, you will find under that item listed, and in the pages following that, again, all of the pages before tab 1, is a list of disbursements. I did not receive any questions prior to the meeting, but if you have any questions, please let us know. That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Dr. Liu. Item number 7, public comment. Persons wishing to address the Board of Trustees shall register with the presiding officer or designee no later than 5 minutes before the announced time of a school board meeting. State their full name, state what organization or group, if any, is being presented, state the topic they wish to address before the Board of Trustees, refrain from commenting directly on any individual school district employee or public official by name, but may instead refer to a specific employment area, job title, or the Board of Trustees as a whole, and refrain from attacks on individuals. San Benito CISD Board Policy BED, board meetings, public participation guidelines require that the speaker be allowed only 5 minutes to give his or her presentation. Delegations of more than 5 persons shall appoint 1 person to present their views before the Board of Trustees. Presentations shall be informative and shall pertain to school-related issues. Attack on an individual shall be considered disruption of the meeting, and the Board of Trustees shall now deliberate or decide regarding any subject that is not included on the agenda posted with notice of the meeting. We do have public comment. I'd like to welcome John Shergold on behalf of TCTA. He wants to talk about pay decrease for 2015, 2016 school year.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Shergold. I'm a frequent flyer here at the school district. And today I'm here on behalf of the Texas Classroom Teachers Association. Mr. Don Larson, who's an attorney there, asked me on his behalf to come down and talk about a concern that the TCTA has regarding some of its members here in the district. It appears that the administration issued a letter or memorandum back on November the 6th, 2015, and it's regarding an error that has been stated by administration regarding the over-implementation of increase of pay to certain school teachers, certain librarians, and also to other staff here at the school district, including nurses. It appears that there was the administration has found that there's a resulting error in the implementation of the raises, resulting in many of you, and this basically is a memorandum that was sent to 700 employees here back on the 6th of November, basically letting them know that they're going to be losing some money out of their paychecks coming up here pretty soon because of the fact that they were overpaid due to an error in the administration and looking at a budget, a board meeting that was called back on August 15th, 2015. The administration states that it deeply regrets that this situation has arisen and knows that once you receive your November check that you might need further clarification if that's the case. The resulting error is the implementation of the raises resulted in many of you receiving a higher percentage increase than was approved, and for some employees it manifested itself in a raise being less than 3%. Since the 2 checks have been issued in September and October to the affected employees, the adjustment will be spread out over the remaining payments for this school year. I would just like to state that this is basically a shock from the sky. That some of the TCTA members who received this letter are absolutely beyond themselves at this point, trying to figure out why it is that they're receiving a letter telling them that they're going to be receiving adjustments in the near future so that their salaries are going to be reduced to cover for some sort of overpayment that allegedly occurred. Now, what is really strange about this is that if this goes on and happens the way it does, this is going to really mean about a $3,000 less pay to employees, teachers in the school district who are here and have been working loyally in this district for numerous years. As you recall, the board may or may not have recalled that here in the past that there was an increase to new hire teachers in order to increase and to be more competitive. Now, if this is going to take place, then the teachers here with the school district that were newly hired are going to wind up making around $3,000 more than the teachers who've been retained here in the district for numerous years. Therefore, you understand why CTA asked me to come and speak tonight. We ask basically that the board place this item on the agenda for the next regular school board meeting. Obviously, we understand that you can't comment since this is public comment, but we do ask that you would look into this and basically someone place this on the agenda if the administration hasn't advised you of this issue, and this memorandum was issued by administration on 6 November 2015. The issue really, I think that the bottom line is that it's coming at Christmas. Teachers, nurses, and librarians are going to get lower checks, and there was an error made somewhere down the road, according to the administration, that's created this boondoggle. And at this point, we would ask that this not be done, that the decreases in these paychecks not be done at this time, and also that they remember that this would basically be demoralizing to the school teachers in this district for numerous years. They're going to see their pay decrease based on some sort of a statistical anomaly or mistake, and we ask that the board look into this and make sure that this is being handled correctly. With that being said, I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and hopefully that this item will be placed on the agenda as the board has the legal right, lawful right to do. And also I stand here to thank you for giving me the time on behalf of the Texas Classroom Teachers Association, and I'm sorry about the Cowboys losing. That was something else. Thank you. May be excused. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Shergill. Our next person willing to speak to the board is Ada Villarreal. She wants to speak on clarification of the 3% raise concerns. Ms. Villarreal?
Good evening. My name is Ada Villarreal, and I am a teacher from Dr. C.M. Cash Elementary. Thank you. I'm here on behalf of our teachers, nurse, and librarian concerning a letter mailed to us over the weekend regarding a clarification of the 3% raise for the 2015-2016 school year. We have been loyal and committed to our district despite the downfalls and changes that have occurred over the years. As of today, our enrollment sits at 628 scholars. That puts most of our teacher-scholar ratios at 25-1. Even with these challenges, we provide you with results. Just look at our test scores. We are also the only campus that received 4 distinctions on our state assessments. Now, if you look at the pay schedule for 2015-2016, a teacher coming into our district with 17 years of experience will have a salary of $49,850, as opposed to a teacher who has faithfully been here for 17 consecutive years and drives them out of town on top of that will make $46,200, plus the 3% increase, putting him at only $47,895. That's a $1,955 difference. Or a new hire coming into our district will be making $42,500 as compared to a 4-year teacher who has been here and only making approximately $39,000 plus a 3% increase, putting her at only $40,170. That's a difference of about $2,330. Mind you, she's also mentoring the new teacher who is making more money than her. Also, some of us have budgeted our finances according to our new salaries, including the implementation of the higher insurance. Now, we will be falling short on our monthly expenses that support our families because our pay schedule will be adjusted once again to compensate this error. We will be going back down to a 3% raise and having to pay back the last 2 months by spreading out the remaining payments for the school year. How do we feel? Demoralized, disrespected, and not treated with the same courtesy that we have afforded our district year after year. We deserve and have earned the new salaries that were given to us in September. We ask that you reconsider and take into account the hard work we put in and day out, educating the future of San Benito. Put yourselves in our shoes. How would you feel if this were happening to you, your spouse, your children, or even your parents in their professional careers? Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Our next person to speak is Rosalinda G. Garcia. She wants to speak on opinion on selection of superintendent finalist.
Good evening. I do want to start by congratulating that awesome group, the High Five, that was here. I didn't know that was on the agenda, and I'm glad I was here. And I am so happy that the teachers or that group that just spoke are out here expressing their opinion, whether they're right or wrong, but I'm glad to see that they're out here. It wasn't too long ago that that the district received the resignation of a superintendent, and then the board selected an interim superintendent, and with great leadership skills, and I can see why they made that selection. I read up on Dr. Leo, and she was an excellent choice. And I think it was in August that we had to wait and select the next permanent superintendent, and I thought to myself, oh, that's gonna be forever. And then the time came. As we know, time just flies. Well, they recently selected a finalist, the board. It was split, and I myself have my own opinion. I think a brilliant candidate by the name of Dr. Wilma Smetter, who works at the University of Texas at the Rio Grande Valley in Brownsville, Texas. I think she was overlooked. Prior to her present job at UT, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about her. Prior to her present job at UT, she took her leadership skills to a small district and did not hesitate to tackle the financial problems. When she took this job, shortly after, she inherited the problems, her financial problems, and a Texas Education Agency monitor was placed in that district. Shortly after she was hired, she found out, well, she knew about the budget balance, and it was a negative, and that was one of the problems why a monitor was assigned. After 6 months, Dr. Smetter, working very diligently, the fund balance was no longer in the red after 6 months being there. And after 18 months, the fund balance went to a positive of 1.3 million, plus or minus. This was the result of Dr. Smetter's dedication and strong leadership skills, whom I see in Dr. Leo also. So, as I said before, I think she was overlooked. And just like one of your present school board members stated, just because he didn't vote for Mr. Vega didn't mean that he wasn't willing, he wasn't gonna work and support the new the new superintendent, or the finalists. And with that, I know they'll be meeting with the finalists and discussing monies and I want to make a point or remind the taxpayers. When Dr. Puig was hired, it was at $140,000. And just like this group spoke about monies, that was his salary, $140,000. So taxpayers, let's keep an eye on that and see what the new superintendent will be offered. I think it would be fair to stay around that point. And I can't leave without stressing the importance of voting. I think the next voting will be in March, so please go out and vote and continue to express your opinions. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 8, consent agenda. In order to promote efficient meetings, the board may act upon more than one item by a single vote through the use of consent agenda. Consent items placed on the agenda shall be marked with an asterisk. Consent items are items for which no board discussion is anticipated and for which the superintendent recommends approval. Prior to the time which approval or consent agenda is had, at the request of any member of the Board of Trustees, any item on the consent agenda shall be removed and given individual consideration. Item number 9, action agenda, business and finance. 1511A-1, request for authorization to proceed with the bus driveway repair of the student drop-off area at the high school.
Question.
1511A-2, request for approval of 2015-16 budget amendments. 1511A-3, request for approval of 2015-2016 budget transfers. As per our legal counsel and tax attorneys, no action will be taken on item 4 and 5, so remove them, please. Administration, 1511A-6, request for approval of Frank Roberts Tax Accountability Intervention System Plan, TAIS.
I just had a comment, not a question.
1511A-7, request for approval of the 2015-2016 District Improvement Plan. Is there a motion on the floor to go ahead and approve the items that we discussed?
So moved.
Yeah, that are non-question, yeah. Second by Mr. Padilla. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, motion carries. Okay. You had a question, Mr. Padilla?
There is no recommendation on the cover page of this solicitation. It only refers to the $40,000 to $50,000 price range, and there are 3 quotes, one for $39,700, one for $52,000, and one for $48,000. So I would like for there to at least be a recommendation on who they're going to award this to. And second, if it is to the lowest bidder, I'd like to have an understanding or at least an assurance that the notation referencing that the maintenance department will do some of the removal is, have we valued the amount of time that the maintenance department's going to be involved in the project, and are sure ourselves that the value of the time spent by maintenance isn't equal to or is going to exceed what the other 2 bids are? I mean, because if we're talking about $39,000 as being the bid of the contractor, yet we're doing part of the work, and the next bid closest to it is only $9,000 less, I'm wondering, has anyone done a calculation to determine whether the time and labor and removal charges and all those associated with a portion that the school district is undertaking does not exceed $9,000? Is there anyone here?
If I may respond? And David Garcia, is Mr. Garcia in the audience? Mr. Garcia presented this proposal, Mr. Padilla, to the building committee in subcommittee. I think some of you were present at that meeting, in which he presented these 3 bids that he had secured. And I wish he were here to give you the specific answers, but I do know that, yes, he did report that maintenance would be doing the work that is referenced on page A5, and that is that maintenance will do the removal of the existing asphalt. With that in mind, the first bid stands at $39,000. With regards to the other two, he is referencing turnkey, which could be taken to mean that that does not include, that this is aside from the representation of maintenance department's work. If you want, we can get additional information regarding these jobs and report back to you.
Let me ask, so that we don't hold the project back, because I can see from the pictures that it's needed.
Yes.
I would make a motion that we approve the lowest bidder contingent upon verification that the labor portion that is being addressed by the maintenance department does not exceed the next lowest bid of $48,000. Because in at least evaluating the amount of time and labor, we should get an assurance that the lowest bid is in true the lowest bid. So if so, then I would move forward with approving or recommending to approve that award, and if not, move to the next project.
Motion by Mr. Padilla, is there a second? Second by Mr. Leal. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. Okay. Michael, you had a comment?
Yes, on the Frank Roberts Texas Accountability Interventions Plan, it's not a question, just a comment. In the curriculum committee last week, I wanted to commend Ms. Molina, who's the principal there. Her staff has done a phenomenal job in making sure that each of our scholars, I like that you use the word scholars, are there's a plan in place to make sure that they're going to succeed. So thank you, Ms. Molina, your staff, as well as the district staff, Dr. Leo, for really making sure that we're moving Frank Roberts from where it is right now.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Okay. That motion on the floor by Mr.
Second.
Second by Mr. Mendez. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay. Item number 10, closed meeting, discussion under the authority of the Texas Government Code 551.071 for the purpose of private consultation with the board's attorney on any subjects or matters authorized by law. 551.074 for the purpose of the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline or dismissal of a public officer or employee, to hear complaints or charges against a public officer or employee. A, report on personnel. B, employment, resignation, and retirement. C, discussion and consideration and recommendation for the position of Executive Director of Human Resources. D, hearing of Level 3 grievance, ML. We are in executive session at 7:34. 7:34. 9:29. Item A, report on personnel. Dr. Leo.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend that the board approve those individuals recommended to hire those individuals as recommended in executive session.
Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Motion. Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, is there a motion for the grievance?
Yes. I make I move that the board deny the grievance and uphold the level 2 decision.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? There's a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Dr. Leo, is there a
Yes.
motion?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, with regards to the position of Executive Director of Human Resources, I make no recommendation at this time.
Thank you. All right, meeting's adjourned at 9:31.